I am suddenly wedding photographer, by user stay affectionate 5987. I will speak in the present but story is few years old. I was a kid from Serbia who lives in the brutalist part of Belgrade. Occasionally, I take some pictures and post them on my Instagram page. I'm not here to promote myself. I literally do this with my phone, and I have a small number of followers. One day, I received a message from a woman, and here's how it went. CB, hello. I've seen your photos. Would you like to be our photographer at the wedding? We can offer you a lot of promotion. Me, respectfully, I'm just a kid who takes pictures of brutalist buildings with my phone. Honestly, I don't think I'm your best choice. CB, you know how to take and edit photos. Come and capture our wedding. Me, I don't really enjoy photographing people, buildings are much calmer, trying to make a joke, CB, don't be a female reproductive organ, and come to the wedding tomorrow. Me, are you serious? I'm not even in town. CB, what kind of professional photographer are you? Me, my profile description literally says I take photos for fun. CB, I'll tell everyone not to hire you. Me, that's like telling a baker not to be hired as a plumber. After that, she blocked me. Pizza wrong phone number, by user aggressive head disk. This story is from 1991. Yes, old, but so am I. When I was in high school, our phone number was one digit off from the local chain pizza place. Rhymes with skittle pleasers. We always got wrong numbers for them, especially on weekends. It was never a big deal, people would mumble a confused apology and go digging their phone book back open, see their mistake, and mumble another apology and hang up. It became a running joke between my dad and I, how many skittle pleasers calls we each would field. We even kept a running tally on a kitchen magnet notepad. On winter weekend, the phone rang, I picked it up and answered. Me, hello? Rando, yeah, I want about 4 pepperoni personal pizzas and a 2-liter Coke. How much is it? Me, this isn't Skittle Pleasers Pizza sir. I'm afraid you have a wrong number. Rando, I don't give a shit if you're busy, just take my damn order. Me, this isn't Skittle Pleasers. Rando, fuck you kid. Get UGD manager on the phone now. Effing moron. Me, at a loss for words, puts the phone on the counter and goes down to my dad's basement workshop and fills him in. He tells me, it's all good son. I'll handle it. I charge back upstairs to listen in on the other line in the kitchen. Dad, hello? Rando, yeah, like I told the dumbass kid, I want 4 pepperoni personal pizzas and a 2-liter Coke. Dad, yeah not gonna happen, cause this isn't Skittle Pleasers. Rando, what the fuck? Are all you MFERS stupid there? I'm coming down there and you better have my shit ready. Dad, they won't have it ready moron cause you called the wrong number. He chuckles good-naturedly. Rando, fuck you pal. I say fuck the pizza. Now I wanna kick some ass. How about I come to your place instead? Dad, I'd give you directions, but you'll never figure out how to get here. Rando, how you figure that smart guy? Dad, you can't even string 7 numbers in a row correctly. He now laughs harder. Rando, fuck you. Dad, good luck dipshit. The old man then gave a good old-fashioned analog phone slam hang up. You young people have no idea how immensely satisfying it is to slam an old rotary phone into its cradle. He then called the operator, blocked the number. Called a friend on our small town's police department. And then, just in case, called Skittle Pleasers and warned them about Rando. When Rando did show up at Skittle Pleasers Pizza and stormed in, an officer was waiting in the back, just out of sight. It was the talk of the town for a week. Over the years, only family has known the story, until now. I miss you old man. Thank you for your service sir. This is cosplay, by user Wolfart 1997. So mine isn't a crazy one where a Karen goes nuts but is still very funny to me to this day. About 2019 I was coming home from a convention where I was wearing my casual Sunday cosplay which is Ripley from the movie Alien. Jumper suit with patches, and white tennis shoes. I decided on my way from the convention to hit my local liquor store to stock up in my fav drinks for the week since I was out. While I was in there I was looking through a selection, when someone tapped me on my shoulder. I turned around and this large burly man with a thick beard was standing there looking down at me. I'm 5'4". Before I could ask him what's up, he threw his arm up and saluted me while pronouncing loudly. Thank you for your service. I was stunned and was unable to say anything as I was confused why he said this, but before I could clarify he turned on his heels and went on his way out the door. As he was leaving it dawned on me of two things: one, I was wearing a jumper suit that looked very much like one in the Air Force, two, there was a Air Force training facility on the outskirts of town. I was still shocked by the encounter as I brought up my drinks and the attendant laughed and said, "Would you like your military discount?" He recognized the patches as being from Alien. I laughed at that and then left after buying my booze. My dad, who is an Air Force veteran, laughs every time at this story and says that I need to wear it more often for those reactions. Lady, ich arbeite hier nicht, or as English speakers say, lady, I don't work here, by user German_dude_0102. My wife reminded me of this story lately, the time, when I was on a service trip to the US like 10 to 15 years ago and where I met a Karen. I have to admit, I'm not quite sure, if this fits here or if I should post it in the r/entitled thread, but I hope here is right. So, as said, I'm a service technician. I am from Germany and was on a field trip with a coworker, also from Germany, to Spartanburg, South Carolina. The service routine was running well, just that you know. And yes, we stayed in a hotel, but well, the USA were a bit expensive and before we waste our money by going out to eat every day, we toughed it would be smarter to make our own lunch. As a mere coincidence, there was one of this big grocery stores on the way between the hotel and the place, we had to do the service. Whenever someone of us was short of something, we could hop in after work and get what we needed. And yes, we were in working clothes, so I can understand why someone would confusing me of working there, but still. We were wearing blue work pants, safety shoes and a black t-shirt with our names in yellow and printed on it and a large yellow E-team with an electric flash on the back. So you might see why Karen got confused. This was our sign for our electrical department. Well, that's most of the background, on to the story. My coworker stayed outside, since I was the only one who needed something, so I grabbed a cart, hopped in and started my turn, since I didn't wanted my coworker to wait. I had my MP3 player with me, which was blasting my favorite music into my ear. I already got a good chunk of the stuff I needed, but still, I'm allergic to certain stuff, so of course I checked the ingredients of everything and if there was something I didn't like, it goes back on the shelf. How Karen might have thought I'm stalking, I don't know at all. Nevertheless, I was in an aisle, where bread was stocked, so I was checking for the ingredients, since the last one I bought had way too much sugar in it, at least for my taste. While I was checking, I felt a tap on my shoulder and heard some noise, which was gladly cancelled by my headphones. I turned around and looked at her, with a surprised face, I guess, since it was my first encounter of this kind. I said sorry and stepped away a bit, since I toughed, I'm in her way. But, she did it again, tapped on my shoulder and again a sound, I couldn't hear. Again, now a bit more irritated, I stepped away again. Karen was having none of it and was ripping of my headphones, damaging them in the process and screaming into my ear, "Excuse me." I was totally stunned about this. I couldn't answer at all and actually, all my English knowledge was just vanishing. I was shocked, but tried to gather up my destroyed headphone and run away from that person. She was screaming something I can't remember, since I was blacked out for a swift second. I just wanted to get away, leaving the cart behind. I didn't gather all parts and I was in panic, so I just tried to get away, screw that headphone, I thought. But Karen grabbed me and stopped me from getting away. I may have to say here, my weight is around 60 kilograms at a height of 178 centimeters. I'm not trained at all, I'm more like your standard tech nerd and tough. I'm 40 now, I'm still that skinny. I couldn't match the strength of that woman at all. Is that embarrassing? Yes, it is. My brain recovered as she screamed at me, "Don't you run away, you lazy bastard. You will help me or I have your job." But, I was actually answering in German to her. I will translate it as good as possible, since I sometimes used some German slang, which is really hard to translate, so PLS bear with me. Was wollen Sie von mir? Lassen Sie mich gehen. Translation: What do you want from me? Let go of me. Karen was, I don't know, maybe disgusted, because I wasn't speaking English to her. We are in America, America. Stop speaking gibberish and help me. Or get the consequences and get fired. She shoved me in a corner and was still screaming at me. Again, I didn't get it all, since I zoned out. Again something about lazy and getting fired, but word by word, I can't say. But you know, what they say about an animal in the corner, so I found my guts in that moment. So I screamed back at her with all the power I had left, schnoz. TRSL, shut up. Ich glaub es hacked. Was ist dir Verschissens Problem? Verpissen sie sich endlich und lassen mich in Ruhe. TRSL, this is totally nuts. What is your effing problem? Get the F out of here and leave me alone. Karen wanted to start again, speak English. But I cut her off. Ich sag die Schnoz. Und jetzt sech das du Landschwinst. TRSL, I said shut up. And now make sure to get some distance between us. Karen was stunned for a second and I made sure to get Ai from that corner. But, sadly, it doesn't end there. Karen occasionally got a manager and was following me to the exit. I wanted to exit the store as fast as possible, but I was unlucky. And, I didn't know the store that well. As I just wanted to exit, they catched up on me and the security was holding me back. She was telling something I couldn't understand and the manager, a very lovely lady, was talking to me, in English of course. I was just zoned out and was totally afraid, someone would shot me, since it's the US. Shootings everywhere, that's what I thought. I was just saying the whole time, the only English words I could came up with, don't shot me, reptingly like a broken record. I guess, they noticed, I was in no state of normal behavior, since I panicked to get shot, so they actually called 911. The lovely Mananger stayed with me the whole time, even tried to comfort me. The panic was for real and I was just talking German the whole time. To my surprise, the lovely manager caught up to it and started to speak German to me as well. Later I found out, she had German ancestors, so she was able to speak some of it. It wasn't perfect, but hell, I took what I can get. Soon after the commotion, my coworker was coming in as well, since he was worried. With the help of the medics, the lovely manager and my coworker, I calmed down. It was the most horrific encounter I ever had, and to be honest, I'd never travel to the US again. So, the aftermath. I didn't catch quite a lot, since I zoned out so much, but from what people told me, the Karen got charged for something, but since we were from Europe, I don't know what charge it was, and to be honest, I don't care. Me and my coworker lost a day of work, which bugs me the most. But, on the other hand, I had like 2 weeks of service left and if I wanted to leave the US as soon as possible, I still finished my duty. And the good thing was, I met that lovely manager in a bar and we started to talk about it. She told me, that Karen got banned from the store and about the charges she might face. As said, I didn't care and was just happy to have survived. Nevertheless, the lovely manager and myself stayed in touch, and guess what, she became my wife and is living with me in Germany now. Her family is great and I'm always looking forward to see them on Thanksgiving. So the most horrific moment in my live, a kind of I don't work here story, also got me the love of my life. Thanks Karen, and still, get lost. I'm sorry, I can't exactly tell you, what happened to Karen, since I didn't care, but I hope you enjoyed the story and it qualifies for a I don't work here lady, though it's a bit different. Got swarmed by old ladies at Costco, by user Caltegra3it. I'm 16 but apparently I can look anywhere between 12 and 22, so there have been scenarios where I've been asked where my parents are and also times where I've been asked if I work at stores. I'm also on the spectrum and wander around and stim a lot, so when I'm wandering I guess I look more like an employee. That also makes those scenarios extra awkward and uncomfortable for me, because I don't know how to talk to strangers very well and have to comb through my mind for the right response. I was at Costco a few months ago, and I ran ahead to the frozen treat section to look for chocolate-covered raspberries, superior to chocolate-covered strawberries in every way, and an old lady came up to me and asked where the bathroom was. I directed her to it because I knew where it was and thought that was it, but as soon as I finished up that scenario, 2 more old ladies asked for help. I guess there were no employees around and they assumed since I answered her question, I was an employee. One asked where the tissues were and another asked where the cheese was and another was walking towards me making direct eye contact. I was about to tell the lady where the cheese was because as a socially awkward, polite, non-confrontational person, I'm not about leave these sweet old people without help. The bathroom lady was also coming back to ask me to walk her there when an employee finally walked out and said all confused, she doesn't work here. And I quickly nodded at him to thank him and walked right back to my mom. I was wearing a red sweater and grey sweats with no name tag, so I don't think I looked like an employee, but I guess I could if you don't know what the employees are supposed to look like. It was actually kind of sweet that all these old ladies thought I was an employee and just wanted help, but I'm definitely not the best person to ask.